came down from there, from Bear Den Mountain. This is Beagle Gap. I thought that I had the storage issue fixed on the phone, but whenever I was eating my lunch, I looked back and some of the videos and pictures I had taken were corrupted. So I'm back to internal storage. Hopefully didn't lose anything. So I think that's Little Calf Mountain. And then we'll go over Calf Mountain. Now I'm looking at a 12-mile water carry. So that might affect my plans for how late to hike today and where I'm going to make camp. Saturday, trail's pretty busy with weekenders and day hikers. Everybody's been pretty cool so far. Clouds are getting a little bit dark. I haven't heard any thunder yet. So here I go. Next stop, Calf Mountain. Another one of those stone walls. Guide said look for a pile of rocks to mark the summit of Calf Mountain. Really handy because I wouldn't have known by the whole way I was going uphill and now I'm going downhill. No views. Kind of interesting that they're trying to encourage these plants to grow. And then got a little bit of a view. So I'm making good time today. All rested up and fresh. Haven't been taking breaks like I normally would. So I skipped the last water source. Next good one I get to, I'll fill up. And then I'll start thinking about how long I want to carry that water before I make camp. So there was a stream back there, several people there, so I'm not going to get it on video. But I have 4 liters of water and I can feel every ounce. But this is starting a 12 and a half, say basically a 12 and a half mile dry stretch. There will be water in a mile or so, but I think that this water source was better. And it's just what I'm doing. It sounds like there's lots of good tent site opportunities. So I need to do some more miles today, but feeling good. It's nice and cool. No rain. It's all right. A deer just walked through my campsite, or next to my campsite. Hi, deer. What about me? Hi. you think? Creeping out a little bit, yeah. So cool. So almost forgot to make a video. The trail is over there a little bit, and found this spot. It was a little bit earlier than I normally would have done, but it was pretty cool because the deer that circled the campsite and let me get within a couple foot of it. The tent, I've got a better pitch this time. It was a little bit damp, so I'm letting it dry out before I put stuff inside. The poncho was super wet. I don't know how I forgot to get it out and let it dry during my days off, but it's drying now. I'm getting dinner going, and I'm in the Shenandoah National Forest now. So you're not supposed to have fires, but yet there's a fire pit here. So I made this little message, and gonna get some sleep, try to get an early start and bust out a big mile day tomorrow, and then see how I feel the day after. Anyway, it was a good day. The trail's been good. It's very cool now, which makes me think rain's coming, but maybe I'm just paranoid. Last night, right before I put everything in the tent, it started pouring down rain. This morning, just as I'm ready to break camp, looks like it's going to be raining for most of the morning. So, trying to break camp anyway and get going. I really like that campsite. And whereas it's going to rain today, I don't think the trail is going to be overly difficult. So, still hoping to do some good miles. Going to be a good day, raining or not. Flowers losing their petals. Just thought it looked cool. Came from this way. Going that way. 2 hours of rain. It appears to have stopped for now. So I was able to take off the poncho. And I made pretty good time even with the rain. So still hoping to do big miles today. Hopefully there will be a view or two. But it's nice. Nice and cool. At the Black Rock hut, stopped for a break. It's a quarter mile off trail. And the sun came out, so me and some other hikers are going to get our stuff out and let it dry, because we're not guaranteed any more sunshine today. This shelter was also the end of the 12-mile dry stretch. Cloud had come out. Look at that. That's crazy how much water there is here, and yet it's been dry everywhere. So, clouds have come back. My tent is now damp instead of wet, and I'm happy with that. I've given it like 45 minutes and I gotta go. So the trail goes on that way. I came up from over there, and this is the summit of Black Rock. So I'm gonna go up there and see if I can get a view. This is the Doyle's River Valley. Clouds are coming in. I bet I get rained on later. This is the view from the amphitheater for Loft Mountain Campground. Loft Mountain Camp Store. Stopped, had a soda or a sandwich, and talked with other hikers. Stayed longer than I really wanted to, but it's only 6 miles to where I was wanting to make camp. Water in 2 miles. Forecast says no rain, but you can see that it's getting kind of cloudy, so we're going to see how that plays out. With the tents mostly dry, kind of damp. Anyway, I feel good, ready to get going. It's 5:15, and it's looking pretty good weather-wise. There's a little bit of clouds over here, but it looks like they're moving out. Hopefully, get good weather for a day or two. Got alternate plans for where I might want to camp. So, whenever I get to a good water source, I'm going to tank up. The clouds are moving out, but it's cloudy on this side. See what it's like at my campsite. I think this will be my water source for the night. I think this is Ivy Creek. That's an all right view right there. All right, it's about 7:15, and I think there's going to be a spot up ahead. If it's there, I hope somebody hasn't already gotten there and set up. I think that right there is the very top. On the top of the map, you could see it was going to be flat, and I think this is my spot. Might be able to see some colors of sunset if the clouds aren't in the way. So I slept up on the ridge up there last night, coming down. It's going to be a hot day. Gonna get to the shelter, fill up with water. I've been coming up from this way. Some sections have been a little bit steep, and I'm about 1/4 mile from the top of High Top Mountain. And this is my water source, my favorite kind of water source, the springs at the top of a mountain, so I didn't have to carry water all the way up here. So I've got about 1/4 mile and 70-some foot to get to the top. Gonna get some water, drink some water. This is the view from the top of High Top Mountain. Probably going to be my last view of the day. Going to be going downhill. Probably start looking for a campsite shortly after that. Spent quite a bit of time back at that spring. I didn't realize how thirsty I was. Drank about 1.5 liters. That felt good to cool off. Got some downhill coming up. Good way to end the day. Again, rock overhangs, ledges. This would have been such a good spot if it was pouring down rain. I only see these whenever it's sunny. Anyway, still kind of cool. heading down High Top Mountain. This isn't actually on trail. I just saw a side path and was curious, what's that go to? Pretty sad. Just something that's out here. Got my tent site, got here about 6 o'clock. Some other folks I had met earlier at a water source are here. No, you're fine, you can keep talking. Anyway, they agreed to be on my video and I appreciate that very much. Getting ready to make dinner, and I'm going to bed early because I didn't sleep last night. It was a breezy morning. Got up and got camp broke and I'm ready to head out before 7. Start to sprinkle just a little bit, so it'll be something to see how much rain I get. But I'm going to be going uphill. Feeling good today. I slept really well. Ready to get going. It sprinkled off and on for a couple of hours. Just now actually starting to rain. Not raining very hard yet, but I've learned my lesson about thinking it's just going to be a light rain and I am soaked. So, still a very pretty day. It's nice and cool. I'm not sweating underneath the poncho yet. Rain slacked off enough that I took the poncho off. Kind of just drizzling. So, might be one of those kind of days. Still doing good and doing good miles. Oop. So it's time to get going. Came from over there. Fog blew in. It's kind of a nasty, rainy day. So I'm going to run into this campground and see if I can get a Diet Coke and a sandwich. The last camp store had Pepsi products, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. All right, spent longer than I probably needed to. There's Mr. Treebeard again. I did like 8 miles today. Spent longer at the store than I really needed to. Drinking Diet Cokes, eating sandwiches. It's not raining right now, but it is foggy. Time to get back to the trail, see how many miles I can do this afternoon. Had a service for just a minute. Weather forecast says I'm going to get rained on here in a couple hours for real. Hopefully it clears up in time for me to make camp because my tent's still dry from this morning. I'm sorry, I'm at the top of Bear Fence Mountain and it's only 1/10 of a mile. I just don't see the point in going and checking out a viewpoint. So, I think I ought to be able to do some downhill now. Still raining pretty good. I didn't quite have as long before it started as I thought, but I'm still hopeful that it'll all blow over in time for me to make camp tonight. I always say that I never find these rock overhangs whenever it's raining, but today it's raining and there is a dry spot to sit underneath the overhang. Problem is, I just spent an hour at a camp store on a covered porch, so I really need to be hiking. And if it wasn't so early, maybe I'd try to lay down and go to sleep there. Very unconcerned about me walking by. Here's the view west from Black Rock Mountain. I was actually thinking about camping up here. Yeah, I realized I was going to get here so early. It's just now 4 o'clock. So I'm going to keep going. See if I can find somewhere else. Got a little bit of a view to the north. And now I think it's time for me to go downhill. That's a nice spring. Gonna get water. I'm not gonna stop at this shelter. It's just now 6 o'clock. I think I've got some more hiking to do. Going back uphill to get my pack. I think up towards the top there I'll find some flat spots with a breeze. I got up here at 6:30 after filling my water and have been trying to convince myself that I want to camp here. Spot where most people look to camp, right underneath a bunch of dead branches, like big thick portions of tree. And every flat spot around here looks like it has dead wood above it. So it's 6:45 now, and I'm going to keep going and hope to find something good and flat. It's a lot of rocks. I think there's going to be a couple of these scree fields. So probably not a lot of good camping around them. This one at least gives a little bit of a view. I came from up there, and I'm going to keep going. I think I'm going downhill now, so the idea of camping high up where I'd have a breeze might go out the window. Sure glad I've been carrying 3 liters of water for the last couple of miles. Anyway, some of these rocks have been getting pretty slick, but I've got to find a flat spot eventually. I'm sitting here at the spot I decided to camp, and this young deer just walked right up on me. All right, getting a normal start. I don't think it rained on me last night, so my tent is still dry. Did 24 miles yesterday, and the 4 of them I think was just me walking around trying to find a campsite. Feeling good. It's a pretty day right now, and the weather forecast has very low chances of rain. It's only 8:15. Down over here is the Skyland Resort. I think they have like a convenience store and a restaurant. Last night I got to camp so late, I didn't even make dinner. I just ate a couple of bars. So I'm going to try not to spend too much time down here. I'm going to go check it out, grab some calories. I believe these ledges are on what they call Little Stony Man. And that's Stony Man up there. Weather's nice. Ate about 1,500 calories for breakfast. Grabbed about another 1,000 calories for lunch. Feeling pretty good. The weather is beautiful right now. There are a bunch of tadpoles in this pool up on the ledges. I just kind of thought that was neat. My first bear. Looks like it's a little one. It's far enough off the trail, I think I can get around. Hey, bear. Not impressed with me. I'm just going to keep going. Probably just spent an hour this picnic area, drank water, ate the food that I packed out from the resort earlier today. So I'm not getting big miles today, but it's been a very pleasant day. It is just a really humid day. So I think that haze that you're seeing is just the humidity. Pretty warm, but it's not raining on me. Came from over there. Going that way. No huge climbs today, just a bunch of little ups and little downs. Nice looking shelter here, Bird's Nest 3. Nice big fireplace. I heard from a hiker going the other way that this morning, a through hiker, I believe it was, had some boiling water for her breakfast and spilled it on herself and ended up getting taken to the hospital. I might take a quick break and then I need to get back on the trail. Clouds are flowing over where I just came from earlier today, so I expect it's going to get foggy for me here pretty soon too. Here's another view, a little bit different angle than before. I think I'm going to see a few of these, so unless something really remarkable comes along, I'm not going to stop and take video of every one. All right, this is the view from Mary's Rock. It's like a 1/10 of a mile off the trail uphill. Still a little bit hazy. I can see better than it's showing up on the camera. But the clouds haven't moved in thick yet. Might be the last view of the day. Still pretty warm. This is US 211. I don't think I had really understood that there was a town Luray that I could get to from here, but I wasn't needing to. I still have food. Hasn't been that many days since I was at Waynesboro, so I'm going to keep going to Front Royal and hopefully time it to where I can get there, not waste a whole day, just get in, stay the night, and get out. I just got water about a half mile from where I want to make camp, and the sun's been out. I just heard some thunder and it's starting to get cloudy. So I'm hoping the timing's going to work out just right for me. So there's a saddle here and the tent site that somebody talked about in a note. I think every time I see a tent site that they talk about, it's underneath a dead tree or dead limbs or something like that. So the thunder is getting more frequent. I'm going to drop my pack and walk around and see if I can find a level spot that's not directly underneath a dead tree. If I think there's a storm coming, I'm not going to stay underneath dead trees. So there's another spot about another half mile up the trail that I'm going to go check out. Kind of deja vu. So the last one I didn't even take a picture of or anything because I couldn't believe that was what was supposed to be a campsite. So I think it's about 2 miles to the next one that somebody made a comment about. So I'm just going to keep going. It hasn't started raining yet. And hopefully I'll find something. So I don't know if this is what they would call an established campsite, but I can't have a fire anyway, and I don't think I'm the only person that's ever thought to put a tent here. So I'm going to pick up some pine cones and some sticks, make room for me to lay down my tent, get it put up before it starts raining. Wind's starting to pick up, it's starting to get a little bit cloudy. Most of the thunder's been to my west, but that's the direction the storm's been blowing in lately. So my camp spot was back there. It was a little bit foggy this morning. Had a little bit of drizzle, but I don't think I ever got that big rain that I was afraid of with all the thunder. I've got 23 miles to town. Gonna look and see how today goes, whether I'm going to try to get in there late, stay the night, or whether I'm just going to try to get most of the way there and have a short way in, get videos uploaded, laundry washed, all that good stuff. This is the Elk Wallow Wayside. I'm gonna use the restroom, maybe grab something real quick to eat, but I'm not spending an hour here like I have at others. All right, turns out I was there for an hour anyway. I thought it opened at 7:30, but it didn't open until 9, and I got there at 8:30. Gonna get back to the trail. Got, like I said, about 20, 19 and some change to town. See if I can make it today or tomorrow. Going over the HOGBACK, whatever mountain. It's just a very flowery section of trail. Came from over there. Here's a little bit of a view. Now I'm going to go over Little Hogback Mountain. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a view from there. It's just all going to be trees. A little bit better view from Little Hogback Mountain. Maybe it's the same. So that's Hogback Mountain. I'm on Little Hogback Mountain. Came a quarter mile down from the trail, and it was a steep down to the Gravel Springs hut because I needed water. I carried 2 liters out from the wayside of the store, and I've been sweating a lot, so I went ahead and drank both of those. I wasn't planning on coming down here. I'll get some water, and I'll hike back up to the trail. Not quite all the way up, but since you never know what the views are going to be, I figured I'd come up here and see this one while I was at it. Looks like some clouds might be moving in. Yep, the clouds are blowing in. Glad I got those views whenever I had a chance. All right, almost to the top of Marshall. Then I'll have a little bit of downhill. So I think I went over the peak of Marshall. It was wooded, nothing to see. Not that there would have been anything to see anyway. So I'm heading down. And in the comments, somebody said this is the last time I'll be over 3,000 foot until Massachusetts. And according to the elevation profile, they're right. It was still pretty sunny up there, so I'm hoping I get down below the cloud and that'll cool off a bit. It's pretty rocky, but I got downhill now. Well, it was really hot and sunny. It just started thundering and raining. I think you can see the steam coming off the road. So I'm going to pull on my poncho and I'm going to walk along Skyline to keep from going over the next peak. Some people say it's cheating. I think it's just smart not to go over a peak while there's thunder and lightning. And just like that, it's still raining. Back on trail. I might not have mentioned it, but yesterday morning I put on fresh, clean, dry socks. I was so glad that they were still dry today. They are now wet. I don't remember what time it started raining, but it's blown over. A little bit of daylight. Still a little bit of a breeze, although most of it's up in the trees. A little bit drippy. I'm still making good time. Alright, I'm done with Shenandoah National Park. Got a bunch of rocks that are very slick right now. And I don't know, we're going to say I'm a few miles from town, going down that way. Alright, this is US Route 522, leads into Front Royal. Gonna see if I can get a hitch, see if I have a signal, can call a shuttle, get into town, set up for the night.